Yeah, our old videos were still on there. I just took them off. But anyway, yeah. So there's a dual meaning to being racist. One, it means that you for your people. Two, it means that you hold other people back from something. And to hold people back from anything, for one race to hold another race back from anything, that means you have to hold power. You so-called Negroes, Indians, Latinos, you have no power. So you cannot be racist in that sense.
And then the other dual meaning, they're not racist because they're for the heathens.
Right. They're not for their own people.
So
that is true. That is true. And we say we racist because we're for the sons of Israel.
Right.
The so-called Negroes, Indians, Latinos that come back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. As it is written, not all that are Israel are of Israel.
Right, and speaking about our people, right, and Martin Luther King is so prominent, and then these other W.E.D. Du Bois and all that shit.
Right.
I looked up that guy, I was looking at him up, he is a house nigga, man. That dude was control opposition. Along with Martin Luther King.
Along with Martin Lucifer. Because
he taught you people to be just like White Lives Matter.
Subjective.
He told you to be submissive.
Submissive to the white man.
Yup.
But what did the Lord say? If we follow them, if the Lord is going to destroy them for their wickedness, and we decide we're going to join them, what's going to happen to us? We become just as wicked as them.
Right.
And all the Lord's people, guess what? We fucked up then.
They're talking about turn the other cheek and shit like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Martin Luther King was walking down and they was throwing bricks and hitting his ass in the head with bricks and shit.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker talking about some non-violence. That shit right there was set up.
Yup.
Well, he only became like that after he connected with that ass amigo, Bear Rustin, right? Because Bear Rustin was trained by the CIA. So what happened was what is that? I know it's a famous line by Scarface, and not Scarface the movie. I'm talking about the rapper from Texas.
Right.
And he said he got white folks and trench white folks in lab coats trying to infiltrate the operation. All right, because what they do is they go ahead and they get that spook that's set by the next door. All right, because that's happening in the truth. You got brothers coming in unawares that the scriptures say, spying out the things that we do. That's the same thing. Once they spy out and they figure out how to get work and they get their foot in the door, their ass is coming next, man.
Right.
And when they ass get all the way in there, please believe everything that stood for gets turned upside down.
Yep.
It's an article. The perfect example of white supremacy. Black woman claims she was fired by Detroit restaurant for offending two white women after referring to herself as light skinned.
Wow.
What does that mean?
Wow.
Here it goes. It says a woman is openly denouncing her former employee after she was fired for making a comment that offended her colleagues. Christine Turner says she was let go from her job after joking with coworkers that she was light-skinned.
So she's an Edomite that said that she's light skinned.
No. She's a black woman that said. A black woman said, look, it said Turner is black and considered herself light-skinned. However, afterwards, the verbal exchange, two white co-workers complained about the comment, and Turner was subsequently fired from the Green Dot Stables, she says.
So they cast her for making a joke about being light-skinned because she's light-skinned and she's black?
Yes.
She's not too black that it's okay?
They said she made a reference about her blackness that offended us.
Wow.
No, it's not that. It's that it offends.
And she's a light skin.
So they cancel.
Right. It's that reverse racism. And with that reverse racism that they put in complex, are put in the context, now they're making it so if you say something that your people commonly say around the white person, they can get offended and they can say that black remark, you just called that other guy a nigger. And I'm offended, and you can lose your job.
Right. Hey, no, it's true. Because I actually lost a job like that before. I was working at a restaurant, and this Edomite bitch, and she was cute, average. She liked me, and then she gave me a hug one day. Next thing I know, I'm rolled up because of physically touching another employee. And I was
Tell
like,
them why the manager.
yeah, because the manager, the bitch basically used to be the manager's babysitter when she was younger. And the manager was mad about that shit.
He had the hots.
Yeah, he had the hots for the bitch. You
Yeah,
know?
pocket this nigga all in the
Right.
kitchen. We got
Right.
food around.
Yeah. Of course, I ended up quitting because he wrote me up. Because hey, you know how black people are with jobs. Look, fuck you. That's basically it.
Hey,
with
you
a
know
job,
why? You know why? Because Jake inherently has faith.
Yeah.
He saw lose a job. He ready to kill his family, himself. He willing to kill your black ass.
Right.
Like, man, this nigga, I just can't take it. Road rage incident.
Yeah.
Because the nigga cut him, because the nigga he thought cut him off.
Yeah.
He chased the nigga down, crashed into his car, killed him and his woman.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because he lost his, we find out later. And they said like it's some simple, shit. Okay, he killed, I thought he just killed because he was racist. He lost his job last week. I see, so he's on, now it becomes a mental health. Now it becomes a mental health issue.
It's all bullshit.
Like, right.
Right.
Because that's part of those curses.
Yeah.
They say, hey, nobody asks how thou do it, or how thou go it, man.
Right.
You know, don't nobody give a fuck about the plight. You got an Asian.
Right. Hey, nobody gives a fuck about the plight of the so-called Negro, Indian, Latino. A matter of fact, it was that guy. What was his name? He got a YouTube channel now, and he was talking about how he was into the what is it called, the MRA, the Men's Rights Association. And every time he brought up anything, because he's a black dude, every time he brought up anything concerning black people, the problems that they go through, the MRA basically shunned it. And then when they people started going to it, and I'm talking about Edomites, Arabs, Chinese, all these motherfuckers is involved in it, all these diverse races is involved in it, when they people started going through the same thing, then it became a problem. So that's when he quit. And he became one of the people that do the new black media, the black manosphere now. And talk about black people's issues. Because basically it's just basically saying that they don't give a fuck about us, man. And when I say they don't give a fuck about us, I mean you Negroes, Indians, and you Latinos. They don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about themselves, man. Yeah. When Michael Jackson found out that they don't really care about us and shit, they killed him. After he done bleached his skin and fucked himself all up, and he realized that he would have rather stayed his normal color.
Yeah, he realized when it was too fucking late.
To make a point, Esau is into preservation of his nation.
Yes, yes.
Because that's why he didn't tell us who we were.
Right,
so he
right.
So he could preserve his people, his nation to stay out.
Right, and think about this. They trying to suppress the information that's coming out even right now because they want to stay at the top. Even right now while they're in our land, they still trying to suppress this information that we are the real children of Israel, the real sons of Israel, that descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you Jewish people are not the real children of Israel. You are the children of Esau. That's who you are. All of you Jewish people. All of you. Well, actually, not all of you, because some of you might actually go back to our line. But the vast majority of you Jewish people are of the nation of Edom.
You got a Jake that'll be like, I want to be like the Jews, man.
And he really is one. Right.
I'm like the Jews.
Right.
Hey, I don't see. Look, bro. I'm gonna have to say it in this way, so I can relate even to the average so-called black man. I don't see the so-called Jew out here getting no bitches.
Nope.
I don't see the so-called Jew out here whooping nobody ass in any sporting event.
Nope.
I don't see the so-called Jew out here.
Jewish.
Right.
That's why I said so. Excuse me, Jewish. The so-called Jew as well. The Israeli. These Jewish individuals.
Right, you can call them Jewish, so-called Jew, Israeli.
Right.
Because all of it is the same.
Right.
Relevant Dodgers.
Right. Gutter rats.
Yep.
Right.
Oh,
of course not. They ain't gonna do what we doing because they are not the Lord's people. They don't fit the prophecies. That's why they got such a big problem with what's going on, and they own all the media stations. So of course they're gonna try to cut it out. Because when we first got out here, The apostles, of course, when they first got out here, but even when we first got out here around in 2009, we went against a whole lot of Jewish people, man. And guess what? They don't know the Bible. They don't fit none of the prophecies. That's why they have such a problem with us telling them the truth to their face.
Only
Because
thing
they're
is,
nothing but thieves.
They
man.
just got some big long ass noses,
Right.
and they are not the Lord's chosen people.
Right,
Period.
right. And you know what? Another thing that proves that we the chosen people, because our people actually got the biggest problem being the chosen people.
Right.
I mean, we always say,
And what the
Negroes,
scriptures do?
Indians, Latinos, y'all the children of Israel according
But
to the Bible.
ain't that what
and
the-
guess who got the biggest problem with that? Negroes, Indians, Latinos.
But guess what? Didn't the Lord that's prophesied in the scripture that our people wasn't even going to be calling themselves they weren't going to be calling themselves Jews.
It's all part of
They're-
prophecy.
right.
Because whether you like it or not, you fall under the prophecies of the Bible, whether you
Yeah.
like it or not.
Yeah.
Just your existence. When the sun
Right.
is out, that's how you know
Right.
Israel
Right.
is
Right.
still here on the planet Earth.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
right. The fact that the planets are still around.
Right. This is Jeremiah 16, starting at 11. No, let's start at 10. This is Jeremiah 16 and 10. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore hath Yahweh pronounced all these great evils against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against Yahweh our God?
Right. What is our sin? I mean, don't the people ask that? Why we going through all this hell?
Why Tupac have to die before his time?
Bullshit. Right.
On the Lord.
Right. Yeah, niggas always asking why are we the ones in the ghetto? Why are we the ones at the bottom? Why are we the ones that's always begging? Why don't we got shit? Why don't we got unity?
What did he say? What was Napoleon from the Outlaws? Did he say somebody got to tell me why I ain't got shit?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got shit because you underneath these curses.
Right, you underneath these curses. We transgress against Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Right, we're worthy of it.
Yeah.
It says, then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, saith Yahweh.
Right, because